A diorama is a scene of a particular moment in time. Typically, a diorama is a miniature replica of a scene, but sometimes, as in the displays in a museum, a diorama can be life-size. The diorama can be of a familiar or real scene, or even of a fantasy or created scene that doesn't exist anywhere in the world. And diorama making can be a terrific way to expand on a current hobby. As an example, if you make model tanks, you could make a diorama to display them on. Dioramas have many other interesting things they can display too. Dioramas can be used to explain how an ecosystem works, as in a plains diorama or an underwater diorama. Or they can be used to show a moment in time, like the last stand at the Alamo or a battle between tanks. The only requirement of a diorama is that it depict a three-dimensional scene. After that, you have a lot of choices as to how you build it. This makes the hobby of diorama making very accessible to beginners. You can start out with simple materials like cardboard boxes and sheets of paper, and then you can move up to more complex and more realistic-looking materials. Dioramas get to be really interesting when they are made to look realistic. This is when they closely mimic natural scenes. The picture to the left shows a waterfall scene with a variety of natural-looking materials such as water, sand, trees, grass and bushes. But the challenge is in making everything look as realistic as possible. How do you make the grass, the water and the trees? You do have a wide variety of options that vary depending on how realistic you want the diorama to be and how much you are willing to spend. You can improvise absolutely everything you need from the found objects and things around the house. The best example of this is the green grass layer in the diorama and the sand layer. This can easily be made by mixing sawdust with a little bit of food coloring or paint, then brushing a layer of glue onto the surface of the diorama and sparkling the sawdust on. And for the bushes and trees, you can use bits of green sponge. The basic branch shapes of the trees can be made from real twigs. The point here is that you can get really creative and make everything you need from found items and bits and pieces. The important point to note is that you start out with the board building strokes and you work your way down to the finest details. Thanks for watching, until next time.